We're live, baby. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. This is the Pardon My Jerk podcast. I'm Kyle here. We got Dunk and Roby joining us tonight for the podcast.
I'm back.
He's back, baby. Tonight, we are going to be doing our Run It Back podcast. Roby, why don't you go ahead and explain to everybody what we're doing today?
This is just the ultimate rewatch podcast. We rewatched the 2010 CrossFit Games, and we're running it back. We're going to talk about all sorts of different categories, what we liked, what we didn't like, who we didn't like, which that should be a hot take.
Best dressed?
On that one. Best dressed, which if my best dress is not your guys' best dressed, I'm going to be really upset.
I'm actually really looking forward to fighting about who is the best dressed person at these games.
I don't think there's even a question.
I've got quite the list, so.
The list. But it was cut and dry for me.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it. I was like, yep.
Look, there was a lot of people that like I took into consideration, but it could only be one.
There could only be one.
I feel like we're all going to be the same on the one, but there were quite a few outfits where I was just like, that's special.
2010 workout fashion was amazing.
Yeah, I'm glad they changed it up to giving them clothes because that couldn't go on.
I want them to go back to making them bring their own stuff. I want to see the long basketball shorts come back.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
In the females.
Overhead squats in those. Love it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, but anyway, before we get started with today's pod, let's start them off with this week's Jerk Werk. We got to get a sound bite for when I say that. We got to get like a soundboard with like a sound effect when I say this week's Jerk Werk.
Don't we have a producer?
Yeah, somewhere.
Somewhere.
Yeah, we weren't paying him very well, so he might have tried to unionize.
Ooh, hot take.
Yeah. Anyway, so
just became a political podcast.
This week's Jerk Werk. All right, this is a fun one. This is a good one for me too. So I'm going to leave this one in the show notes this week, actually. So in the episode description, if you don't catch what we said, go back, check it out. Give this week's Jerk Werk a run. So this one tonight was 10 rounds for time, 12 calories on the rower for men, 9 calories on the rower for women, and then coupled with that was thrusters at 135 for men, 95 for women, and that was 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 reps. So round one is 12 or 9 cal row, 10 thrusters. Then 12 or 9 cal row, 9 thrusters. 12 and 9, 8 thrusters, all the way down to 1. My time on this was 14:41. Give it a shot, kick my ass, let me know about it, and make sure you just you just tag at Pardon My Jerk, #Jerk Werk when you hit it. So, Doug, I would like to go head to head with you on this one.
That one is right up my wheelhouse.
Yeah, no thank you.
Yeah, that one,
I'm good.
I don't think I'd lose on that one.
See, I think you would lose by a significant margin.
Really?
Yeah. So you can keep your rower. It's not about the row. It's about
I've seen you do thrusters and the speed at which you do them.
Valid. That is valid. With 75 or 95 pound thrusters, give me the 135, 155. Forget it, dude. It's over.
I think you're underestimating I'm not saying I'm good at thrusters, but how okay I am at thrusters.
If we're talking 95 thrusters, it's yours. Even 115. But throw the big boy plates on there. I got you.
What was your time? I might have to just do this tomorrow just to prove you wrong.
Well, make sure you just hit at Pardon My Jerk, #Jerk Werk on there.
Tag it.
Will do. I want everybody to see my time.
And tag 3 to 100 of your friends when you do it.
3 to 100. Okay.
Dunk, record the whole workout. We'll post it as an Instagram reel because we can do longer.
I don't think we have the followers yet to do Instagram reels.
Yeah, no. That's a lot of setup. That's a lot of setup.
Totally fine. Someone will see it somewhere.
Somebody.
That's all that matters.
No, this is good practice for when we have the fittest channel on earth call out. So, yeah, Roby, so I had the idea to Dunk. We're going to call all the other major podcasters and YouTubers. We're just going to call them out around the open, challenge them, tell them how much fitter we definitely are than them. I'm talking to you, Craig Ritchie. And we're going to throw it down. We're going to have a whole leaderboard as to, for all the fittest YouTubers and podcasters.
I like it.
Yeah.
I look forward to being at the very bottom of that.
Somebody will bite.
Yeah. So be like, yeah, we'll take on these jabronis.
Yeah, right.
That these
All right.
Pennsylvania boys got.
So we have a ton to unpack here. So why don't we hit the ground running?
Let's get into it.
We're calling this the Run It Back podcast. Thank you, Dunk, for the idea.
No problem.
Let's just start things off here because we're going to start unpacking probably our biggest category. I would just want to give us a little bit of background information to anybody out there listening on some pretty interesting stuff, right? So for anybody that's interested in going back and rewatching these games, they're all available on YouTube. And the behind the scenes, which I watched, is also available on Amazon Prime if you're interested. The 2010 CrossFit Games was the first year they introduced regionals. Sanctionals was the conduit to get to regionals and then use that to get to the games. The regionals workouts were not standardized, which I guess sounds crazy, but they're doing that this year. So I guess it's not really that weird.
I actually didn't know that.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
So the individual winners, what do you think their prize purse was?
$5,000
Negative.
and free Under Armour T-shirt.
For regionals or the games?
For the games.
I'm gonna go 50,000.
25,000.
I was way off.
Title sponsor was Progenics. This is also the first ever CrossFit Games that was streamed. This is the first one that like the public could watch. It was July 16th to 18th, 2010. The podium on the men's side, Graham Holmberg took first, Rich Froning took second, Chris Spieler took third. On the women's side, Chris Clever took first, Annie Thorsdottir took second, Val Voboril took third. Okay. Then here's some fun trivia for you. Kelly Jo Smith participated in these CrossFit Games. She actually did my L1. So
Nice.
yeah, I know celebrities, guys. Get her on the pod.
I'm famous.
Yeah. So here's something crazy. So I'm watching these games. I was like, these games are kind of crazy. And I'm like, if Rich Froning can do a rope climb, he probably wins these games. Right?
Yeah.
But then I'm watching Amanda, and I'm like, if Annie Thorsdottir can do muscle ups, she wins these games. Not true, actually, necessarily.
No. I will get into that later.
Yeah. So Chris Clever's average finish in these CrossFit Games was 3.44. Did you do that already?
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you compare it to other people's dominant games?
No, I did not, because I'm a lazy podcaster.
No, so 3.44. So I was like, that's bananas. She averaged the podium almost every event.
How many women? How many competitors were there for the field?
I think women was 41 and men was like 45, 46.
Okay, so still a normal size field.
Yeah.
Right. If not bigger.
Clever's lowest finish was the sandbag move. 20th place she took in that. Outside of that event, she never finished below second.
Jesus.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
That's
I got
impressive.
it right here in front of me in my notes.
Wow.
Because when I was researching for this, I was like, I got to make sure I got that. Because we get down to the last category. That's like my main point.
So I'll do you one better. Matt Fraser's best ever average finish, and I have to assume that this is the best ever average finish in men's history, was 4.07.
Wow.
If you exclude the 2020 games, which doesn't count, because if he took dead last, he gets 5th place. So that's not really fair. You know what I mean? Tia Toomey's best ever average finish was 3.75 in 2019. So she got a little closer. But to give you some perspective, Chris Clever, I have to assume outside of 2020, this is the highest average finish in a game's history ever. She absolutely disrespected the field.
I think what we're saying is Kristen Clever is the most dominant CrossFit athlete ever.
Hot take.
In a single games. It's like, okay, obviously it's 2010. Obviously they didn't have as many events, but that's still, given in relation to the field, incredibly impressive.
Well, and the reason she finishes 20th in the sandbag move, one, she's super short and has to climb up that wall. I think she fails getting up the wall at one point.
Right.
She's just not built for that kind of stuff.
Right.
So of course she's
And
going to finish 20.
And she dumped the wheelbarrow, so like if
Yeah, like,
that
of
happens,
course.
that just
You're
happens.
done. Yeah, like you're done.
Okay, so last thing, like of sort of internet research I did, notable games rookies this year. I thought this was kind of interesting. So the following people were rookies in 2010. Gentleman by the name of Rich Froning. I don't know if he went on to do anything. Austin Malialo, Chad McKay, or Mackey, as they kept calling him, and Neil Maddox, all rookies this year. So decent men's rookie class, right? On the women's side, rookies, Valvo Borel, Julie Fouché, Camille LeBlanc Bazinet, as they kept calling her, China Cho, and Sam Briggs. So by and large, so if you hear us referencing the men a lot more than the women in this particular Run It Back podcast, it's because this was essentially the year that set up the women that the sport was going to be built on for the next half a decade. You know?
Glad you brought that up because I have a lot more men's notes than women's notes. So
yeah, I
didn't want to be the only one.
It's because the women hadn't really they were like a year behind the men, unfortunately, just in terms of like the type of athlete they had.
Yeah.
Now we see later the women absolutely pass the men in terms of the quality of athlete.
Oh yeah.
But at this point, I think the men's field was a little stronger or a little bit more
just well known.
Yeah.
Which talk about hot takes, but
I mean, when you have Kristen Clever dominating everyone,
right. Also,
it's like okay, we're gonna go with this race now between these two guys.
Right.
Yeah.
So, what's aged the best? Why don't we take turns on this and just kind of list off the stuff that we think's aged the best, both seriously and ironically. Dunk, why don't you go first?
So my first one was I really enjoyed the rig setup from event 1. I don't know why. I just thought it was great. It was entertaining. It was everybody was just kind of watching each other.
Something about looking a man in the eye when they fail muscle.
It's just different than what we've seen over the last like 10 years. So.
Dude, there's so much to unpack about Amanda.
Yeah. Amanda was my what's aged the best. That workout.
I mean, it's a good workout, but there's a lot of things that have aged poorly from that workout too.
Well,
it's like a double-edged sword.
I have some other stuff about Amanda later on. You know,
I really like the workout. It was just like 3 years too early.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Man.
That's
I don't know what I wish they would bring back like the rig, so it's like everybody can just like they should have done that with the 30 muscle ups for time.
I want to see Brent Fikowski on that rig just to see him fucking shaking that thing.
I don't know if they could do that rig nowadays. Like someone's going to get seriously hurt.
I don't know. Jason Khalipa probably weighed 40 more pounds than anyone that competes today.
Well,
that's okay,
there were some big boys back in 2010. Those were all like ex bodybuilders that are like, oh, this looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are right about. Who was the
Neil
one
Maddox,
guy?
man.
Neil Maddox. I think it was Mo Kelsey. Mo Kelsey, who I was like,
Mo Kelsey looked like
grizzly bear.
Mo Kelsey looked like Tyson Fury. That's the first thing I thought. I didn't see him until like the last round, the last heat, like in the final, and then I was just like, God,
this guy getting to heat 3. What?
All right, Robbie, what'd you have for what's?
Pounds.
Give me a what's aged the best.
I just had Amanda. Like that workout just keeps getting better and better the more that we see it. I kind of ride the Amanda train for a lot of my stuff in the 2010 games.
I was curious if you regret picking that as the best CrossFit Games workout ever after rewatching the event again.
No, I was still stand by that. I mean, it was tough. There was some questionable moments, but
we can appreciate the workout being good, but we can also appreciate how terrible aesthetically and everything about it was.
Dude, these whole games are like the movie Armageddon. It's like I love it, but there's definitely plenty of stuff you can kind of laugh about.
I feel like these games
CGI is not the best.
These games is what why CrossFit's got a bad reputation for bad form. It's like this is the first time they aired this stuff. It's like it should be taken off of YouTube. CrossFit should like pay to take it off of YouTube.
They were like we probably should unpack this a little bit in like kind of background information, but like these games, I was watching, I was like, we always lump like the primordial games back at the ranch as a one thing, and then when it went to Carson as like another thing. The 2010 games should be lumped in the 07, 08, 09 games.
Yeah.
Like the sport hadn't, it took them a transition year for the sport to kind of catch up to being in a venue like that. Like, because when you watch the 2011 games, night and day difference. Programming's different, movement's different, judgment is different. It's completely different. The 2010 games were just like 09. They were just in a different place.
Yeah.
So, so what days are best? Neil Maddox looking like Cisco. Never get tired of looking at that.
I've got some good hairstyle stuff that I want to get into.
Oh yeah, we'll unpack that in the best hairstyle war. All right, Doug, what'd you go?
So my other one was I really enjoyed the final. Now, let me preface that by saying it could have been a lot better, but I enjoyed the structure of like how they were doing it. Like I think each part was great. They should have had like 2 minutes rest in between instead of just Castro explain it and then go. And
put a button on that. I watched all the finals yesterday. We need to take a separate 20 minutes just to talk about that final.
Okay.
Like,
we can go back to it.
Totally. That needs to be its own segment of this podcast.
We can come back to it, and we will.
Yeah. Roby?
Are we still on what age is best?
Yeah. I've got tons of what age is best.
Do you?
Let's
okay,
keep this.
Good.
Yeah, let's roll through this.
Well, speaking of hairstyles, I have down Holmberg's hair.
Oh,
it
man.
looks amazing.
I want to get into his hair when
dude
we get
has
into.
Still got the flow.
Feather to perfection.
Like out there killing it. He was killing it in 2010, killing it in 2021.
Dude, I had Dave Castro as a flow master. And for that matter, Miranda Oldroyd. Really, they both really showed us like, hey, Kiki's job is not as easy as it looks, guys.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the commentating. We need to get into that too.
Yeah, the play-by-play analysis, fascinating.
Yeah, that was the best part of the entire. That was my most interesting part of the games.
Yeah,
Listening to those people talk.
That's in my what age the worst.
All right, I got one.
Right,
I got one. The form on the American kettlebell swings was pristine.
Yeah, but they were like the bell, like they weren't snatch pressing it at all.
Literally, it was just like straight arm the entire time, and it was perfect.
It's just like
you go there now, and it's like you got like the quickest, most efficient way to get it over your head. Back then, it was just statuesque.
Yeah,
it was Gold's Gym boot camp.
Yeah, and if you weren't perfect, if you couldn't like strap a board to your arm and do it, you got no reps.
Yeah, right. All right, Robert, keep it moving.
That was all I had for what age the best. I didn't go as deep as you guys did.
I've got like 40 of them.
Jeez.
40. All right.
Yeah.
Let's cut it down to 5.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I'll probably think of more as we talk.
Yeah. All right. So I got Derek Marquin. Could not have told you his name before 3 days ago. The smallest athlete in the field. To this day, there is not a single person in the CrossFit Games in 2021 that can do pistols faster than that son of a bitch.
Male or female?
That guy was going so fast on pistols, he forgot he just started doing air squats randomly and like still was beating people.
I didn't watch his heat, but that dude was tiny.
Yeah.
Tiny.
So I quickly found out about these games. The entertainment in the CrossFit Games in 2010 was watching the post-event interviews.
Yes.
I feel like you found that too, Doug. Like when you watch like the interviews afterwards, like this is where we get the real gold.
The best interview was Kristen Clever after the first event where she was just I've never seen someone cheese so hard. Like she couldn't get a smile on her face, and then she just had no idea what to say.
She's always cheesing.
So they were interviewing Froning after I forgot which. I think it was the deadlift pistol
deadlift one. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
They were like, so what are you hoping we see? And he goes, well, I really hope we have to take sandbags, put them in wheelbarrows, and then lift them over the wall and carry them up the stairs. It's like, oh, how about that? Yeah, that'd be cool.
Some of those were just like, it was like the Ricky Bobby, just like, I don't know what to do with my hands. Like
The best part was like
the first time they've ever been on camera before in their lives.
You could tell the commentators like didn't know their people's names. It was just like
I had that written down too.
They were going on the fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Camille LeBlanc Bazinet.
Well, it's like they had to look at like the teleprompter in front of them to like, oh, this is who we're interviewing right now.
Yeah. So okay, while we're talking about the play-by-play, first of all, everybody kept calling the events WODs, and I was like, this is not going to age well. Bill Grundler sneezing into the microphone. Did anyone else hear that?
No, I didn't.
What event was that?
It was in Amanda. Me and Brett are watching it live, and I was like, did Grundler just sneeze directly into the microphone?
That's funny.
And then, yeah, I had the announcers clearly not knowing the actual names, and then like, they would be like, okay, and this athlete is doing pull-ups now.
Yeah. Well, it was like that they were only the commentators were only seeing what was on the TV screen. It was like you'd have a shot of Spieler, and then they'd cut it right over to Graham Holberg. Like, oh, and Graham Holberg, he is probably close to being done.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I literally just thought of this one. Not knowing what rep anyone is on.
Yeah,
no idea.
Let's say that for what's age the worst.
Yeah, I forgot that I've actually been reading some of What's Age the Worst by accident. So let's transition into What's Age the Worst. Go ahead, Robbie.
My first one that I have is ring handstand push-ups.
Oh man, I don't know.
They were terrible then, and they're terrible now.
I love that event.
See, I went way opposite. I'm like, wow, they're doing ring handstand push-ups, and people still suck at them.
Yeah, aged terribly.
I'm like, but they were like actually doing them.
Like, kind of.
And then I was like, wow, women are doing deficit handstand push-ups, and Laura Horvath can't do one. And this was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, good call.
That's true. Yeah.
That was like the first thing and they're doing them strict. Like,
putting her on blast like that.
I'm sorry. It was what popped into my head, and I just had to say it.
Yeah.
No, I actually rewatching that power clean ring handstand push-up event. I was like, this is awesome. I actually really liked it. They could have done some stuff to make it look better.
Yeah.
I actually really like that event.
We've talked about this on a previous pod. I hate ring handstand push-ups.
I'm a big fan, dude. I like them a lot.
Terrible.
I don't like them, but the fact that they were doing them and like it wasn't a true train wreck, like it was like a 50% train wreck. Like there was some definite people, which once again we'll save for later.
You had some guys that
struggled.
were gaming it. They were kind of using their feet and crawling up a little bit. But like their judges just weren't calling it.
I was more happy that they were letting them go. Like, yeah, they're getting up. It's all that matters.
Yeah.
I had the only thing I haven't mentioned that I had in What's Age the Worst is how that deadlift pistol double under AMRAP. How they started it and then they told everybody like, stop. There was a false start. We're gonna start over again. Like what? That was weird.
Yeah,
anyway,
so,
what do you got?
I have for What's Age the Worst was that workout. It was the deadlift form was terrible. It was
just not a good event.
There was no lane, so it was kind of confusing. Like people were just running back and forth. They didn't know where to stop. People were running and doing double unders in weightlifting shoes.
Yeah.
Like it was just it didn't. I don't know. It didn't do it for me. Like
visually, it was bad. It was an AMRAP, which never looks good on TV. And
awesome segue to my next one: sprinting and doing double unders in lifters.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's.
What are we doing, guys?
I was wondering what kind of lifters were they making back then? Because like the stuff that I wear now, like I would not make it. Like I'd have to like sit in an ice bath for the next 3 days just to get my feet.
Also, here's the worst one too: is they were doing heavy deadlifts in weightlifting shoes, which is not a good thing to do either.
Yeah.
Just so they could do pistols. It makes you think like, oh, let's just do like thrusters or something. Let's not do this.
Well, if you watch, I watched. Britt and I had a puzzle going yesterday, so I was like, well, if we're gonna do a puzzle, let's just let behind the scenes run. And there was like 6 athletes that Sevon that he interviewed after that were like, yeah, I've never done a pistol before, at least not in a workout.
Yeah.
So
Ferning said that in the interview. In the interview after the thing, he's like, yeah, I've never done one in a workout.
Which I thought that actually I thought was weird. That kind of shocked me a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, that was once again that was a workout not aesthetically pleasing. Like I feel like it could have been good if it was set up better, and then if it was done in like 2016.
If you did something like, I think one could have been done well if it was like 5 rounds for time and like made the deadlift heavier as you went.
Yeah.
And no sprint. There's no need for the sprint.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I think it was just because they had the like the room to play with, and they were like, let's just make them run.
I don't think Castro at this point didn't know how to make a aesthetically pleasing workout. Yeah. Like he's still learning how to do that.
No, so they brought on Talking Elite Fitness's podcast. His name escapes me at this exact second, which is going to upset me. But they brought on the gentleman that was like the director. He was the producer of the games, I think was his title. I'm butchering, and I apologize for not being able to remember more details about it. But he was the gentleman that handled all the TV stuff for the games, and he worked for CrossFit, and he said that there was a lot of butting heads over like in the early days of the games because Castro was basically interested in handling the competition like you would a local competition to find the fittest person there. And he was like, no, this is going to be on TV. Like the entertainment factor matters. The way it looks when you watch it matters. And over the years, Castro finally discovered like how to do that well. And I'll save it for the 2013 games Run It Back podcast. But that was the year he figured it out, was 2013.
Okay.
So, all right. So, who'd you like the best?
Wait. I'm not done yet.
Oh, sorry.
Well, I mean, we kind of touched on this stuff, but the judging was just atrocious.
Judging.
It's like they pulled out like 3 or 30 people from the 4 local gyms around the area, and they're like, hey, I know you've never done this before, but I need you to judge all these people for the next 3 days.
Yeah, I was trying not to beat up. We could sit here all day and beat up on like the movement being held to the stand and the judging. I'm trying not to beat up on it too much, but that was not good.
It really wasn't the judge's fault. I mean, it needed to be explained what like they were wanting or expecting beforehand. I don't know. It just
it
didn't work.
I think it was just like the infancy of the sport. Like people weren't quite used to the competition style yet.
Yeah.
Like it was more.
You could tell the athletes weren't either.
Yeah, it was just more so like people were used to throwing down in their gym and used to kind of uglier reps and that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, but I don't want to beat up on it too much, but yeah, that was not great.
Yeah. And then I've got just like form on certain things, like the muscle ups, like the way that they kipped like above the rings. Yeah. Like that wasn't good. The overhead squats and the snatches. It looked like me and Roby doing them in 2017.
Me doing them in 2021, but you know,
whatever. It was rough. It just looked like a lot of the higher skilled stuff they should have just taken the L on and like just done like thrusters and chest to bar pull-ups.
Well, I mean, if you're going to talk form too, the rope climbs not excellent either.
Yeah, I have. Yeah. Speaking of rope climbs, I have no crash pads as what.
Yeah, that was bad. That was bad.
I put that like
of all the years not to have crash pads.
Yeah.
Like, you introduced the rope climbs.
You got 20-foot rope climbs with no crash pads, bro.
Poor
like,
dude.
All right.
We could, the holy shit, the Brooke Wells holy shit that was close award could have went to like 8 different people on the rope climbs at the end. I was like, we got to take everyone out of this.
Yeah.
It was bad.
All right.
That's it for me. I'm good.
All right. So who'd you like the best? Who'd you come out of this liking the best?
It was Kristen Clever for me. She was just super bubbly and super likable, and I mean,
agreed.
Nose down, like just went for it the entire time.
Yeah,
I got nothing else really to say.
That's who I had. I had Clever.
Yeah,
she's just like. It seemed like she wasn't even like competing. She was just like having fun. It was
it was like a normal weekend for her. Yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah, she in her interview she was like, what was your plan for the workout? Well, I didn't have one, but it would have been really cool to do it on the muscle ups unbroken like Camille did. It's like, okay. It's like, she's just here for a good time.
Yeah. I had Chris Clever. I had Tommy Hackenbrook because I love anything that man does. I had Rob Orlando. Although I could have actually put Rob Orlando in who you like the least for some other stuff he did, but I'm a huge fan of his. Also might be the most jacked human being I've ever seen. Yeah. You could put Rob Orlando in the games this year and he'd be the most jacked dude in the CrossFit Games. Like that dude had 2 Christmas hams for lats on his back, man.
Still does.
The only
Jason Khalifa loved him. Jason Khalifa finally answered the question: can a Saint Bernard on its hind legs compete in the CrossFit Games? And the answer is yes. Thank you, Jason.
That is debatable, actually.
Did somebody ask that question?
I mean, now that it was posed, I wanted to ask it a long time ago.
And then obviously, I mean, how do you walk away from these games and not love Rich Froning?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you watch these games, you're like, yeah, Graham Holmberg won this battle, but it's very clear Rich Froning's going to win this. Like, or he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Like, Rich Froning, and the thing about Rich this year, you watch him, it's the same reason that I love Justin Medeiros, and we were talking about this previously. Like, you watch Froning move, and you're like, yeah, this guy, he's incredibly fit, and he's jacked, and he's beautiful, but on top of all that, he moves exceptionally better than anyone else in the games did at that time. And it's like, well, that's gonna age better than anything out here. Yeah, that's gonna give him a huge advantage.
It was fun to see him like be super reckless.
Yeah.
Just because like you're not used to seeing that. Like you don't see that anymore, really. Like Noah Olson 2018.
Right.
Like you don't see reckless athletes. I mean, really everybody on the field was reckless, but like it was interesting to see like somebody that like changed over the years, and you don't see that anymore. But like just him like just going for it no matter what.
Yeah. And the same stuff you always love about Froning, man. He's like a fun-loving guy. He treats CrossFit like football or baseball. Yeah. Like he just kind of goes for it. He's aggressive. He has fun with, and he's like hyper competitive.
Yeah.
Did you guys have a who'd you like the least? Did you have anyone? All right, cool.
So this one was a surprise to me, and it was really only because of one thing, and it was Miko Salo for just like storming off after he finished the sandbag carry. Literally just put his last bag down, walked down the bleacher stairs, and just walked off.
Belichick style.
He like Tom Hardy did in The Warrior. He just was like, I'm done with this. I don't care about these people. I'm out. And then I also had Graham Holmberg for reasons that like just I've heard interviews from him before, but I don't know what it is about the bleach blonde hair that makes me feel like people are just like villains. You know what I mean?
Come on, man.
I don't know. I don't know. I've got no other reason, but that just stuck with me, and I had to say it, But no, Miko Salo was really the one, and it was just because he just walked off and like had no care in the world.
Miko can be polarizing.
Yeah.
Miko was like, he's like that dude that's like, I'm really fit, but I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah. He's scared. He's a scary man. I didn't have an athlete. I had whoever stood in front of the clock on like half the events, because they had the camera just pointed at a static clock, and there just kept being some dude that kept standing in front of it on like 2 or 3 events. And I was like, I hate this guy. This is the guy I dislike the most. I can't see the time.
I'm so glad you took it outside, because I couldn't think of any athletes I disliked in these games, but there was plenty of people to dislike outside of the I wish I would have paid more attention to it in that way. But I had in my what's aged the worst, the fact that the clock was just a video of a clock.
It was
I want to go back to what's aged the worst for 1 second, because I had one thing and I missed it. And it was there was no leaderboard ticker.
Oh my God, yeah.
I had no idea where anyone was.
Yeah. I mean, neither did the commentators.
Yeah. Oh yeah, true. No idea.
Could be on rep 2, could be on rep 50. We don't know.
I thought it was funny. The commentators are Rich Froning sitting in the bleachers after the sandbag carry, and they're still questioning whether he's working out. Like he's sitting there with his legs crossed.
Yeah, let's also put that back into what aged the worst. Like when you were just done the workout, you just stood there. Yeah. Like there was no finish line. You were just like, okay, I'm done.
But that's why I walked away I loved to this day. Like I should have wrote down Stacy Tovar, another person I loved the most, and like with Rich. The same stuff you saw in 2000, like years down the road, you saw with Rich and Stacy in 2010. They finished an event, they whooped everyone's ass. People are still struggling with it, and they're staying on the court, cheering for people, clapping for them. You know what I mean? It was great.
All right.
So let me go. Oh, the event you'd most like to try in your affiliate.
For me, I don't know if it's the most like to try, but I just feel like it would be the best.
Best affiliate program. Sorry,
Okay.
Best affiliate program.
The one that would work best in my affiliate would be pyramid double hell.
That's what I said. Yeah, same.
Yeah, it's
Same.
just it's a good benchmark workout. It's just like I said, double. So like, I mean, it's accessible to everybody, easily scaled if need be, and it's a 4-time workout, and they're just more fun than AMRAPs and EMOMs.
Yeah, I said the same thing.
I also put for this the deadlift pistol double under if you took the sprints out. That's an easy one to program. It's because it's simple.
Oh, if you took the sprints out, yeah.
If you took the sprints out, this is an easy workout to program for an affiliate.
Yeah.
It's just
But like,
7
what
minutes
is
of deadlifting pistol. Deadlifting pistols suck.
I don't know. Like, what's the point of deadlifting pistols? Like, pistols are like there to like just wear your
butt
legs
cheeks,
out,
bro. Your
Yeah,
butt
but then,
hurts.
Yeah, but then like there's no sprint, so like
Yeah.
I don't know. And I could get behind it if it was like a 7 rounds for time.
Yeah, I mean you'd have to tweak it for sure.
Yeah.
You couldn't just do a
I don't know.
7-minute AMRAP.
I really hated that workout.
So this workout at the games was terrible.
Yeah.
But you could make it
terrible
better.
games workout. That really was a straight up like an affiliate workout. Like that's something that the affiliate down the road would program. Honestly, like to this day, they would probably still program if affiliates weren't afraid to do pistols anymore.
Mm-hmm.
What event did you want to try the most? Like, what looked the most fun?
I had the final.
Oh God!
Oh,
You depressed, man? You need to talk about something?
The final in the way that like I know what the whole final is. I know what like needs to be. Like I'm not going out and doing 3 rounds of the first workout in 7 minutes and killing myself the rest of the way. So, and like I described it earlier, like let's do 3 rounds and then rest 2 minutes, and then your next 3 rounds, rest 2 minutes, and then it's like a 30-minute workout you could do at your affiliate.
Dude, I feel like that workout, especially the middle one, the 30 toes to bar, 21
ground. That one, like toes to bar can go to hell.
But that workout, you could program that in the games today, and I still think that would flatline people.
Oh no, this is one that I would love to see this one be programmed again, just to see
I was watching that thinking, I was like I said, we're going to talk about this a little bit more later, but I'm like watching this, I was like, Castro should program this like this year.
That workout was ahead of its time.
Right.
7-minute time cap for 90 toes to bar. What is it? 63 ground overheads
at 95 because
65.
Yeah, like they do that now.
Finish that now.
It's touch and go muscle snatches, and like just hang on as long as I would love to see athletes.
I don't think anybody got through 2 rounds.
No, I don't.
I thought the time caps for these workouts were all over the place.
I think I remember the third heat. It was like the quote unquote time to beat going into the third heat was like 1 round and 15 toes to bar.
Yeah, in a 3-round workout.
Whoa.
We're watching it, and I'm like, and Froning was the only one to finish the first piece, and I'm like, how pissed do you think Froning is afterwards when they're like, yeah, man, you finished, no one else was even close, and he sold his soul to do it, and then he goes to the snatches and toes to bar, and it's like,
and
he gets his ass kicked.
Let's save this deep dive for later.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Did not do well.
The one I had for the one I wanted to try the most was the sandbag workout.
I had the same thing.
Yeah, but that's the one you have to go to like a football stadium to do it. Like you have to
fun.
Okay.
Yeah, it does. But you're gonna take your whole affiliate to a football stadium?
No, sorry. But when I want to try the most, I said Pyramid Double Helm's the best affiliate workout to me.
Yeah.
But the one I wanted to do the most was the sandbag workout.
When they redid that workout in 2015, did they have fans sitting in like the section of bleachers like in between the athletes?
No, I think when they came out to like introduce them, they brought them down through the crowd, but I don't think during the workout they did.
Dude, I think that would be awesome. Like just have like 2 rows of like seats like cleared out, and then just people like screaming at, because they'd be going nuts, but just like screaming at you as you're running up the stairs.
Especially when you have Rob Orlando running into the bags and just chucking them down the steps.
Oh yeah. That was something.
You might have to sign a waiver.
Yeah. It's the splash zone.
What if you the guy's name, the Chicago Cubs guy that had fan interference, what was his name?
Oh,
Billy Bartman?
No,
Bartman.
No, the fan.
Steve Bartman.
Steve Bartman. Yeah, like what if you had like a Bartman incident with the sandbag?
They just run away with a 10-pound bag.
Like a fan just like slapped a bag out of someone's hand.
Yeah. Or he just like grabs it and like puts it in the pile at the bottom.
Then what are you doing? It's a horrible idea.
Spieler's over there recruiting people to hand it to him up over the wall.
Yeah. It's a horrible idea to put fans here.
All right, so this is kind of what I was kind of curious about. What was your most rewatchable event?
The same one that I thought was the best event. It was the final, but it really wasn't even rewatchable. It was slim pickings, I thought.
Yeah.
The final was good. I liked it, but after what was it, 6 heats that they had, it was too much. Like I wasn't excited to watch the final men's and women's heat because I'd already watched the prior ones. But like as far as like Pyramid Double Helen, I didn't think was enjoyable to rewatch. Yeah, I'm not going to step on anybody's toes.
I thought Amanda was still great. Obviously, the muscle ups aren't amazing, but I thought Amanda was still great. And then I was surprised how much I enjoyed watching the handstand push-up power clean workout again.
If he would have programmed that handstand push-up workout like he would in 2015, where it was like progressions up the floor, and you could tell where people were at, it would have been a really, really fun workout to watch.
Yeah, visually it was shitty, but it was a cool games workout. That's what I liked about it.
Yeah.
I put 90 seconds to establish a 1-rep match. No, kidding, totally kidding.
Dude, I left this rewatch not hating that 90-second.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even watch it. Like, just cut the video off.
I remember a conversation earlier we had, and I was like, I need to see why Roby hates this so much. And I watched it, and I was like, yeah, I mean, it's 90 seconds is tough, but like, everybody had to deal with 90 seconds, and it was just like, who had what's left in the tank.
It was more of a strategy workout than like a test of strength.
Yeah, because Hackenbrook in his interview after he was done, he's like, yeah, I broke up my last round of pull-ups a couple times because I knew I didn't want to jump on those shoulder to overheads right away.
Yeah. He was also winning the workout, so
he's just like, I'm gonna take my time.
Yeah, he also had time to break up the pull-ups.
Right.
Yeah. So, no, but I left that not hating. Yeah. I mean, I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it like you did.
What was yours, Roby?
Amanda.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love everything about that workout.
Yeah. Least rewatchable.
The deadlift.
The deadlift pistol double under.
All right. So I thought that was low-hanging fruit. It's like easy to kind of trash that one. And here's the thing that workout at least had. There's 2 things that workout actually wasn't that terrible. One, there was a race there. Yeah. Like there was like people were close in that, right?
Yeah.
So which actually did make it watchable. And 2, it was short. It was only 7 minutes, so it was done and over with quickly. They were cycling heats quick.
I would have said that would have been better if it would have been just a for time workout. Like it's a race to 5 rounds, not a 7-minute AMRAP.
Sure. Yeah, you're right.
But that's just
so I actually said
for me.
My least rewatchable event was the sandbag carry. Like I was watching that, like all the heats of that, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? Like, this is terrible. Like, it's a cool event, but I'm like, what am I watching? Like, this is stupid to watch. Like, Roby, you've dug in on this workout before in past podcasts where, like, you're like, yeah, it's a cool idea, but it's not really a great test of fitness necessarily.
Yeah, but it jumps into the whole balance thing and like, nobody can freaking work a wheelbarrow.
I thought it was a good test, but I'm watching, I'm like, this is especially the first time through, like, people are really struggling with these bags. They can't figure out the strategy for it. We're seeing wheelbarrows tip over. Nobody can get people can't get up on top of the wall. It was sloppy.
I didn't like the rewatch of it. I just thought it was too long. There was too many bags.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah, that event did feel like it was never going to
end. Like it needed to be it was like a 12-minute, like what was the cap on that workout? Wasn't it like 20 minutes?
Stand by.
Well, like you're right. There's probably the way to fix that. What's that?
It just says for time.
Oh, there's no cap?
So get it done,
Awesome.
no matter how short you are.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you are right. Probably the way to fix that one is like, there's just like, especially for the women's field, there was like it was just too many bags.
Yeah.
Because like you had women carrying like some of those bags. I was like, is that like a fanny pack? Like what's in that thing?
Yeah.
Like they were like,
You know what would be a good way to
you
make
just gave
that?
like a handful of heavy bags.
You know, it would be a good way to make that workout kind of entertaining. It would be like a suicide sprint, and like you got to like transport the top bag to the top of the wall and then run back and forth, like how they had the bag set up on the stairs. It would be like a 3 or 4 minute workout, and it would just be a pure sprint the entire time.
So make it like 5 sandbags of like ascending weight.
Well, you know how they had them set up on the stairs, like it was like one at the bottom, like one a quarter of the way up, and then all the way up. So like you got to get like the top bag, or you got to take the bottom bag, or whatever order you want to go into, but just have it be a suicide sprint to get the bags from this side to that side.
I dig that. So no wheelbarrow. Basically, no wheelbarrow. No, you can only carry one bag at a time, and you could. Yeah, that's cool. I dig that for sure.
The wheelbarrow wasn't as fun. Like it could have. Like in theory, it sounds fun, but it's just not fun to watch.
You're right. That's a good call. I like that.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Let's see. I think we're gonna get into our specialty awards here.
All right. Let's do. Can we please do who wore it best?
Oh yeah.
We gotta do it.
I feel like
let's do who wore it best.
Okay.
Most controversial award of the 2010 games.
All right. I'll kick it off.
Okay.
The clear winner.
Wait. Male and female? Male and female.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, I didn't have.
I just have one guy.
I had a male and a female.
Okay.
Did you do a guy, Dunk?
Yeah.
Of course you did. All right, we'll do guys.
Right.
I'll throw my female at the end. Let's do who wore it best for guys.
Yeah.
Clear winner. Austin Malialo.
Yeah.
Head to toe compression.
Yeah. For every workout, the long white sleeves, the long white compressions, like
those terrible compression shirts we all got sold. We played football and baseball. It was like, it'll keep you warm, we promise.
Dude,
well, not better. It was back then. Everybody thought it would increase blood flow and improve your recovery.
I was gonna say, like this was like peak times for compression clothing.
Awful.
Because of Kobe Bryant, remember that dunk? Kobe was saying it improves your recovery back then.
Yeah, because he had it everywhere.
Yeah,
but I agree.
But with the basketball shorts and the tights.
Also, Malio could have saved himself if he just wouldn't have worn white the entire time.
No.
Nope. Did you guys miss Spencer Hendel wearing white camo?
I had that. That was my next one. White camo leg sleeves.
White camo belongs in the summertime.
Dude, no.
In California.
Spencer Hendel's white camo get up was too much. All right, I got one. Neil Maddox's toe shoes on Amanda.
Yes.
I was like, oh my god.
Man, I forgot about that.
I didn't know people actually wore those.
Oh yeah.
There was a lot of people wearing them, man. That was peak toe shoe period.
Yeah. I was like, this dude's over here doing full snatches and toe shoes.
Beast.
So who wore it best? Because I knew you guys were gonna go full compression. The problem was there was like 9 dudes all compressed
you could have gone,
right?
You could have gone all over the place with it.
So my who wore it best was Rich Froning. Like, you're watching Rich Froning, and I love Rich, right?
You think he's beautiful. He's like Thor.
Yeah,
it's like
he's wonderful.
He could wear whatever he wants to, and you would have thought he wore it best.
No, but I'm like, look, Rich, I love this guy. This dude is keenly aware the cameras are on, and the crowd is watching, right? He everything to him is like perfectly manicured, like the perfect headband with the writing on it. He had the matching socks. Like, he looked the best of anyone there.
The shades.
The Oakley shades that got him the endorsement deal later.
The hair was perfect. He looked like a Premier League soccer player.
Dude, I'm clipping this segment and sending it to him and say Kyle Hamlet has a man crush on you.
Look, I do it. Look, it worked. I bought in. But yeah, Rich for sure. He never wears a shirt except when he's in a 28-minute long final workout.
When it was 1,000 degrees.
Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, I had Rich as but I'll give it to you guys. Malialo gets it.
Yeah, he has to.
Yeah, he looked like a fit Ghostbuster.
Who do you have for women? Because I feel like I know.
So, well, okay. Who do you think it is?
I mean, Kristen Clever with her basketball shorts.
No, I did not actually. So this actually could have easily went to Stacy Tovar for the exact same reason. I just said Rich won it. Stacy Tovar, like every time the camera was on her, the pose was perfect. Like,
she bought the same sports bras that they supply them now for like the smallest things.
Right,
working it.
But I actually gave this to Shayna Alverson.
Oh,
I
don't know who this is.
Deep cut.
Neither did I. I gave this to Shayna Alverson for having the fortitude to go to the CrossFit Games and wear Hollister shorts, like made of like sweatpants material.
All right. You watch some Pete's.
Imagine being the regionals athlete that like shows up to like a semifinal or whatever, and you're wearing like sweatpants material fake cut off Hollister shorts.
I feel like I'd be more okay with that person than Spencer Handle's camo setup.
Fair enough.
Like, I'm not judging you if you're wearing like the gray Hollister sweatbands or sweat shorts, but I am if you roll up in camo Under Armour just decked out, got your necklace on and everything.
You guys got no style.
I'm surprised you didn't have the eye black under him.
I wish somebody would have done. I wish somebody would have done the like what's that guy's name from the program? The big linebacker.
I knew you were going to say his name. It's just all black on his face.
Just like the skull, just like all steroided up. That'd been amazing.
All right, so it's time for our named awards. So the Cara Saunders, Tia Claire Toomey finish of the games for best finish in an event.
So I've got two. I'll give you one now. It's Neil Maddox and Rich Froning and Amanda.
Yep, that's what I said.
Yeah.
That was a good one. That was real good. What enhances it too is that they're both future perennial games athletes. Yeah. Like it wasn't some random. It wasn't like Peter Edges. You know what I mean? It's two real deal guys.
It also
finishing strong.
It also helped that and I know they didn't do this on purpose, but the way that they had the camera, like it worked out this way. Like they had it on Maddox, and you could see Froning in the background doing his snatches. So it looked good. It worked. And it was like Maddox doing singles, Froning just killing himself to finish the 5 unbroken.
Yeah,
it was a good race.
Yeah, it was good. What do you say, Ryan?
I also had mine from Amanda, but I had the females. I had Camille LeBlanc Bazinet and Christy Phillips.
Fair enough. For the exact same reason, basically.
Yeah, because it was a 2-second race.
Right. And it was two people
them,
that competed for years after.
Exactly. Both of them just busted their tails to finish it. So.
All right. The James Newberry fucking Send It Award.
Wait, I got one more.
Sorry.
Jumping the gun. I've got Graham Holberg and Chris Spieler in Event 5 with the ring handstand push-ups and cleans.
Deep cut.
Yeah. Fair enough.
It was another 1-second finich. Yeah. Spieler came back and took him over at the end because Spieler can do ring handstand push-ups like I can do regular push-ups.
Yeah, right.
So.
Well, Spieler can also do regular push-ups like
these
two. But all right.
Yeah, I mean, it was and once again it was one of those ones where Spieler's working out, they got the camera on him and Graham Holberg's right behind him. It worked for the eye. Like if it would have been like Spieler's on one side and Holberg's on the other and the commentators had no idea what was going on, then it wouldn't have been as good, but the fact that it worked out the way it did was it made it for a good finish.
All right, so the James Newberry fucking Send It Award for the person that just sold their soul to win a workout.
I had two.
Okay.
I had Kalipa on Amanda, almost killing himself.
Yeah.
And Froning on final one.
Because he legit did. Like he was just nothing left after. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, "This is it, man. I got to win the games."
This event.
This first of 3 events, I'm going to win the games. Yeah.
Knowing full well he sees ropes down that lane.
Yeah, it wasn't a shock.
Can't climb.
Yeah, I had this question. I was like, why did everyone send it on the final workout, like the first workout? Like you all see what's happening. Yeah. Like there's other things. Like
and the best part is the play-by-play guys are like, yeah, they're all selling their soul to win this workout. That's the way you have to do it. And it's like, no, it's not. That's
Dude,
a terrible idea.
Yeah.
I literally said, I was sitting there watching the final event when Froning's going. I'm like, he should just not pick up the bar on round 2. Just he's finishing last either way. Like he has nothing left. Just leave it.
And there's literally no point.
Take your L and relax for a second.
Yeah.
Right.
I had literally everyone. Everyone was just, it's like once the buzzer sounded, it's just you go for it, and if you make it to the end, great. If not, cool. I tried my best. It was there's no strategy, no pace. It's just whew.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So bros working out.
Yeah, it was like I was like,
us.
we're gonna go to the gym, and I'm gonna finish the warm up faster than you did.
Yeah.
Dude, so Rory, I also said I think there is one answer to this, and it's Khalipa in Amanda. So I'm rewatching Amanda with my wife, and we're watching. And first of all, Britt's like, "How many times do you really need to watch this?" I mean, I'm like, "One more time, it's fine. I have to rewatch it, right?"
It's perfect.
So we get through all the heats, right? And Khalipa's heat comes up. I go, Britt, don't look at anyone in this heat except for Khalipa. So Khalipa, that workout starts on muscle ups, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, had Britt seen this prior too?
She's seen it, but I don't think she knew the way I did to look at Khalipa. Okay. So Khalipa was the second one off the rings besides Chris Spieler, right? So basically Khalipa was the first one off the rings.
Yeah.
He goes to the bar. I think he was like, I think he was the first one off the bar on the squat snatches. And then he was the 9th guy off the bar on the ring muscle ups. He gets back to the bar in the final round of 5 squat snatches. He's still in the race. Maybe not to win it, but to do well. I go, Britt, watch this shit.
Oh, it's great. Because you can see it the whole time, too. You see, like, for whatever reason, and they don't even do it on purpose. He's just always in, like, the background, or he's like.
And you see him just drop one bar after another.
You can't escape him. You just can't escape him.
And the commentators are trying to be nice. They're doing their best to be nice, but they're just like, oh, God, this poor
so
huge man.
And
so
like.
Funny.
And I'm like, all right, just give it 1 second. Watch this rep. And it was the one where he catches it and then like runs at the like the cameraman in like an NFL game. Like he's like, get out of the way, I'm coming in.
Trains on the tracks. Yeah, it was. Oh my gosh.
Oh, dude, I'm sitting there watching. I'm like feeling for the judge because he's like, oh my God, do I go get the bar? Like, what do I do?
Yeah.
Like this isn't supposed to happen.
He's like off camera, like he's like damn near like in the production trailer, like doing these sketches.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I had another one. I had Matt Chan in the ring handstand push-up section.
Oh yeah.
Dude was just, I don't know if it was like full send or him just being full reckless. Like just doesn't care. Like I need to get this up and I'm gonna kill myself. To do it. So yeah, he's just crashing and burning, like flopping over the rings. It was I don't even know if it was full send, but
I think most of those guys in those ring handstand push-ups were crashing and burning.
Oh yeah.
It got down to the point where
man.
They were doing singles, and it was more of a push-up.
Oh yeah.
But, yeah.
It's like the most arch you could possibly get in your back, and then slide your legs up.
Yeah. So I had more candidates for this award than I anticipated, to the point I just stopped writing people down.
I got one more too.
Go for the James Newberry Award.
Yeah, I got Christy Phillips in the same event, the handstand push-up event. Homegirl is neck and neck with Kristen Clever through 3 rounds, and then Homegirl doesn't make it out of round 3.
Yeah, that's a 6-round workout. It's fine. But 7 rounds wasn't working.
Yeah, she's just it's like that feeling when you're like, oh no, I've definitely done too many handstand push-ups, but it's fine. I'm gonna keep trying, and then you just can't do it anymore.
Yep.
Yeah. We've all been there. We all know the feeling, but we just weren't on TV when we did it.
Usually after like 3 handstand push-ups for me, I'm like, I don't know how to do these anymore.
The worst part is like she did that with like half the workout to go, so she's just like trying to get it up, and like at that point you have nothing to even like hold your arms up. Like it's just your neck's crashing down on the ground. It's all bad.
So this workout, this award may have to be renamed the Jason Khalipa Award. And that's the Brooke Wells Holy Shit That Was Close Award.
I hope we all had the same one. I mean, clearly there's a winner here.
I mean, we had to have had the same one. I've got about 15.
The 15. Clear winner is Jason Khalipa.
15.
No one will ever trump Jason Khalipa and Amanda for the Holy Shit That Was Close Award. He nearly killed a cameraman.
Almost committing manslaughter on national television.
He was my number one.
Yeah, that almost made him a snuff film really quick. Thank you, Jason.
So I had Julie Fouché as the supposed originator of the ring faceplant.
Oh.
In which event?
Amanda.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, she went through just like our Brooke Wells name work for the award. Did the exact same thing. She just went through and just went down. So
I missed that one.
Yeah. I was like, oh, this workout is named for this exact reason. She has to be included.
I had Khalipa. I had Chan doing the ring handstand push-ups.
Yeah.
And then there was a lot of people that fell off ropes. Mm-hmm. Christy Phillips had a bad one.
Yeah.
Rich Froning had the worst one.
It has to be Rich Froning.
Rich Froning fell from that and landed like on his ass.
Yeah, it has to be.
That's bad. That's bad.
Yeah. But hey, look, respect to Rich Froning though. Rich Froning literally fell off the top rope, lands on his back, right? Laid there for maybe a quarter of a second, feeling sorry for himself, and then immediately pops up like, "Don't you fucking ask me if I'm okay."
Yeah, I wonder what was actually going through his head, because it's like that probably hurt a lot. But it's like, all right, there's a lot of people here, and there's a lot of people watching. Get your ass up. I was like, you're already embarrassing yourself a little bit here.
Yeah.
Get your ass up and go back to work.
Yeah, so I respected that. He got him. He's like, "Don't you fucking feel bad for me? Like, I need to climb this rope."
Yeah. All right.
I want to. This isn't really like a holy shit, like messing up or like I'm about to hurt myself, but like Brandon Phillips with the wheelbarrow dropped it 4 times. Like that's it. That is a holy shit moment in itself. It's like holy shit, like he dropped it 4 times, and the 4th time the wheelbarrow broke, and the commentators are just like, "What's he doing? Is he quitting?" And I'm just like, he probably should. He probably at this point just be done.
Well, I mean, like, really, what was he supposed to do?
Yeah, his wheelbarrow breaks, and he's standing there, and he's like, I'm going to go steal someone else's wheelbarrow because I'm so far behind already that everybody else is already up on the stairs.
Yeah.
Just don't DNF me.
Yeah. I can't get cut. I need these points.
Yeah. Miko Salo is walking past him to go lay down in the locker room at this point. So.
Miko's like, I gotta get a protein shake, bro. I'll be back.
Meanwhile, the play-by-play guys are like, yeah, he's a fireman, so he's good at this.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I think that's all those awards. So did you guys have
we can also
go ahead.
We can mention about 50% of the field doing the shoulder to overheads, dropping them on their back.
Oh yeah.
That wasn't great.
Sweaty.
It's never great.
Well, first off, they're letting them go for back rack like presses, and then like they're just getting super like extended, and like people are dropping them, and it didn't look good.
Yeah.
There was a lot of holy shit moments in that section.
Oh yeah, that is a little scary on your shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, everybody's out there wearing no shirts, like, and you're already exhausted. You're sweating, like.
So, did you guys have a quote of the games?
I did.
I had 2.
I think I had 2 as well, maybe 3.
Lead it off, Rob. Do you have one?
I had, if you can't climb a rope, you can't be the fittest on earth.
Did Castro say that?
That Castro said that about Rich Froning.
On what? Where did he say that? Did he say that?
That was in an interview, though.
It might have been an interview.
Okay.
But I'm attributing it to at the games. I think it was after the games he said it. But
I feel like he said this in a doc like years down the road. But like, I mean, it was
but
pertaining
that's the quote
to
of the 2010 games for me.
Yeah.
is like, because I mean, you could pick like any of the interviews because they were just all hilarious. Like, or I mean, I think now we should add Grundler burping into the microphone as the quote.
Sneezing.
Of the game. Sneezing into the microphone as the quote of the game.
Yeah, wait till the 2011 Run It Back podcast. There's an awesome one.
Yeah.
All right, so I got one.
I gotta step out real quick. I'll be right back.
It wasn't as much as a it wasn't as much of a quote as it is like a conversation. And it was during, and I don't know who the commentators were, but it was during the event 2. One of the sideline reporters they're talking about the workout, and she goes, "She's really going balls to the walls." And then whoever the reporter up in the booth was, he pauses for a second, goes, "Your language. There are families watching this." And then pauses again. "I apologize for the CrossFit community for her language." And we move on. And I was like, wow. I could not believe that just happened. That's just, it blew my mind. I rewound it and watched it again.
Dude, I don't know who it was. There was a gentleman that was doing the play-by-play. And I'm like, he was extremely like dry and like sardonic as he's covering it. I'm like, his analysis was actually really good. Like to put him in the play-by-play now, he would still hold up. Like he did a great job, but he was just very like monotone and like very, very dry. So he didn't express a lot, which wasn't great. But I was like, his actual coverage is like way better than, I won't name any names right now, but than certain people that covered the games for a long time. I'll just say.
And I will say this game, it was probably very hard to commentate because I'm just guessing they were watching the same screen that we were.
Right. They have no live scoring.
Right.
Like it's probably a global stream. So they're probably watching the same cameras we are.
So everything's late. They're listening to like Castro try and keep up with everything down on the field. Yeah,
it's not easy for anybody involved. It's easy to laugh at the people doing the play-by-play, but it's like, dude, their job was not easy. Like,
I'm busting their chops, and I'm not. I don't envy what they had to do, but they were comical. Some of the things that they said,
especially with these games where you watch it and you're like, in Heat 1, like you watch Heat 1 of Amanda or watch Heat 1 of the pistol squat workout, and then watch Heat 4 and how much of a difference it is. Yeah. And you're like, these people still have to find a way to talk about this.
Right.
You know, like it would be hard. So, all right. So I'll transition. That's a perfect segue into one of my quotes. I didn't write this one down. I didn't want to. I didn't know who the play-by-play guy was. It sounded like Coach Bergener, but I won't say it was. But they're doing the sandbag workout, and it's the women's heat.
Oh,
and
I think I know where you're going with this.
And the guy was like, "All right, well, they should try taking the sandbags and stuffing them in their bra. If that doesn't work."
That is not where I thought you were going with. I don't remember that.
Wildly uncool.
Yeah, that doesn't.
Yeah.
He goes, "Yeah, they should try shoving them in their bra if they can't get it up there." And I'm like, "Don't say that."
Oh, yep.
And then
2021 CrossFit is even more canceled.
But then he doubles down on it, which is never good. He doubles down on it, and it's just kind of like an awkward period of like quiet silence. And he goes, "Yeah, these CrossFit athletes, very pretty woman, very attractive women, doing a lot of work, very fit." I was like, "Stop."
This is a 70-year-old man that is just living his best life right there. And someone put a microphone on him.
It reminds me of that TJ Miller skit that he does where he's like, "It's fine to be like, look at these young boys out here playing soccer. You could say young once. Would you say young twice? You could look at these young boys." Not okay.
Yeah, right.
Not okay. Can't say that stuff.
I had that, and then all right, so like a little bit kind of a serious the quote fucking factory himself, Pat Sherwood. This was in the behind the scenes. This is I didn't write down the exact wording of it, but I did the best I could. Sherwood goes, every once in a while I look around and I pinch myself about where we are and how far we've come from the ranch to here, which I thought was cool and poignant in that moment, but it's also pretty cool to hear him say that in 2010. It's like, dude, you have no idea where it's going in a very short period of time, you know? Mm-hmm. It's like that 2010 feels like it was like a millennium ago, but in terms of like the way sports operate, dude, that's a blink of an eye. Yeah. You see how much the sport has evolved and how cool it's gotten. And for someone to say it that was involved from the beginning and still remains involved today, it was kind of cool to hear him say that, you know?
Yeah. So I mean, think like 2 years down the road, then 2012, they're at Pendleton doing all sorts of cool stuff. So it's like,
yeah, I mean, they just up their game every year.
Yeah, it's like, bro, you don't even know.
Yeah, right. So
that's awesome.
That was kind of awesome. That was pretty awesome to hear, you know? Doug, do you have another quote?
I just have some funny ones. Like there was in the sandbag workout, one of the announcers is like, Kristen Clever is being quite clever with these sandbags.
Go home.
I was like, man, come on, bro. Super funny. Yeah, that was probably the only other one that I had that was worth mentioning.
All right, so say the best for last here. I think we're all going to agree on this one for this particular podcast. But what was the defining moment of these games?
Yeah, I mean, it had to be Rich falling off the rope.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I mean, there's no other real answer.
I've been riding this train all night. I had the introduction of Amanda. And then I had a combo that said, but Froning almost dying on the rope is pretty iconic too. So,
I mean, that was the clip you've seen 1,000 times. It was the moment that inspired one of the greatest that we've seen in the sport, and then the person that built the sport, and you know,
it's only iconic because of what he did afterwards.
Yeah,
right.
True.
But he did it afterwards. So
yeah. So if we did this rewatchables in 2011, it wouldn't be the most iconic moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
sure.
And two, you have in that Road to the Games where Henshaw's son is interviewing him. He tells him, "Oh, look up the 2010 final and watch me fall from the rope." And this kid's like, "Oh, okay." Like now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And on top of all that, you have Dave Castro on his Flowmaster skills. They're like 8 minutes into that third piece of the final. Castro's like, Rich Froning has yet to climb a rope. Like, oh God. Poor guy.
Quote of the games. Right there. So,
yeah, right. That could be the quote of the games right there. Yeah. So actually, you know what? While I just mentioned it, let's unpack this final. Let's talk about this final a little bit. Dunk, you loved it. Why don't you start?
I mean, I thought it was great. I just think that it was, as far as like how we look at a workout now, it was aesthetically pleasing in how they progressed through the workout. Like it was, you start here, you work your way down through the stadium floor, and you get to the end.
Yeah.
I wish there could have been a couple 2-minute breaks in between each workout. And I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of the chaos style format of we're going to tell you as you go.
Yeah.
So like that could have been done. Like they could have just told them the workout when they got to the floor, and it would have given for a better workout too. Like, okay, they need to be ready for everything, but Rich Froning isn't going to sell his soul in the first part and not going to look like a slapdick on the second part.
Yeah.
Like, so
I had final one on my worst workouts. I'm pretty sure it was this one, right?
The push-up, rope climb, and overhead squat.
Ah, man, I wish I had my list in front of me. But I didn't particularly like the very first workout of this final. But it gets better, like you said. Like it's a cool. Like now that I went back and rewatched it, and I can like kind of see it all together. I do like you said, how it flows kind of down the court.
Mm-hmm.
You're watching them kind of progressively get through these. These are aggressive workouts for 2010. I mean, even 2021, these are aggressive workouts.
The time caps were just super aggressive,
Yeah.
and it was with not knowing what was like going to happen, like what was going to be next.
Yeah.
Like hey, you've got 7 minutes to do this.
Mm-hmm.
That you think you should be able to do that in 7 minutes, or at least get close.
Yeah, but you had guys finishing one round of final 2.
Well, people are selling their souls to get close to finishing the first part.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think they're not? And none of them got half. Like, all but like 4 people didn't get halfway through the second part.
I'd be curious to like pick Castro's brain, like on what his like sort of thought process was with this workout. Like, because I love this final and I hate this final. Like, first of all, like I'd be curious to know, like, did you intentionally write this thinking no one's going to finish any of it, and we're just trying to see how much they can get done in that period of time? But like the final, I'm watching it. I like each individual event. It's a great test, but it's kind of just too much. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just turned into too much.
I think it was too much.
Well, first of all, man, you're talking about a final event that is, let's see, 7 + 7 is 14 + 12. It's a 26-minute long final event, not even including transition.
Yeah,
that could be a tough watch. I mean, a 26-minute long final's a lot.
Yeah.
But like I said, if they included even just 2 minutes of rest in between, and told, like I said to Roby, and just told them to work out from the beginning. Like, all right, here's what, like I said, I'm not a fan of the chaos style workouts. Tell them the whole workout when they walk out onto the floor. Froning's not going to sell his soul. Nobody's going to sell their soul in that first workout. It's like, I mean, I guess you could if you were James Newberry, but you're going to try and get through the whole thing. And like Froning couldn't do a thing on the second part of the workout, and it was done after the first workout because he won the first one, and then it was it. Yeah, but if you knew that there was, if you knew what was coming, he might have paced it a little better.
See, I would argue, though, that you want them, for the sake of the test and for the sake of the viewer and entertainment, sell your soul on that first one. Mm-hmm. Like I would kind of argue that's what you want, especially A, if you're trying to test the fittest on earth, and B, like that's the whole kind of point of like not telling them what's coming. Like sell out, get the points. Like we don't want to see you coast. We want to see you kill yourself to try and win this whole thing.
Yeah, but then you get back to that being, it was probably too aggressive. So it's like, yeah, sell your soul, win the first one, but maybe it shouldn't have been 7 minutes, and maybe it shouldn't have been 3 rounds. Maybe it should have been 2 rounds in 7 minutes.
Yeah, it was probably too aggressive. That's why I'd be curious to ask him what his thought process was on it. Like, did you intentionally go too aggressive? Because when we're comparing the first one to the second one, like what?
Yeah.
The second one is so much harder than the first one.
Also, yeah, like what was his thought processing on connecting the workouts? Like,
right.
Like, did you just program 3 workouts and then just throw them in a hodgepodge and be like, all right, we're doing this? You know?
Yeah. I mean, that second workout, people's grip, done. And that's why you saw guys just tanking on these ropes.
Why are we going from overhead squats to shoulder to overhead? Like, we didn't get enough shoulders in the first one. You know?
And toes to bar to rope climbs.
Yeah, it's like
never enough shoulders in CrossFit. Never.
Yeah, you're not wrong, but like we could have just done some like 185-pound deadlifts. Like just give them a break.
Yeah.
I did like the rope wall climbs though.
No, yeah, I wanted them to bring back those burpee wall climb. Like
no, I'm talking about the rope one, like the
12-foot
rope wall thing. I like that a lot. I'd like to see them bring that back.
They did that in the obstacle course, right? Recently?
Kind of.
They had something sort of.
Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't the exact same, but
I don't think it was as tall.
I like that in a workout. I'm all about. And here's my thing in the games. I'm all about any opportunity in the games to just not do conventional CrossFit gym exercises. Like
no barbell, no rig.
I've said it many times. They could completely take the barbell out of the CrossFit Games, and I'd be like, great.
Yeah, like I mean that's part of their identity now. They got to keep it.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm sitting here saying, like, the barbell should be the means of building strength, not the test for strength, right? Or there's an argument to be made about that.
So how do you test strength? How do you test the strength if the means for building it isn't included in the test for strength?
Pick up an Atlas stone.
Yeah, but I mean,
take some odd object and you have to lift it from ground to overhead.
I can promise you could go deadlift 500 pounds to train for the Atlas stone, but the second you go and try and pick up an Atlas stone, the farmer around the corner could probably do it better than you could.
But what is a true test of functional strength is the ability to pick up odd objects. When was the last time you were on that construction site and you picked up a thing with perfect 3/4 inch handles that you could keep nice and tight to your body?
That's true.
You know what I mean? Well,
no, you're right.
Dunk's one of the construction guys that posts photos like overhead squatting 2x4s.
I can definitely tell you that's not me.
with two chicks sitting on each side.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm the Bradley Martin of the construction industry.
Yeah, I'm like kind of cool either way with it. I'm just saying, like, I like the stuff that's less gym-like and more sort of functional application, like real world type of stuff.
But isn't that just strongman then?
No, because
is that just basically, all right, I want to take strongman, I want to take track and field and mesh them together.
No, because there's more sports that would be involved with it, right? But I think strongman truly is the truest test of who's the strongest man on earth.
Because
don't they call the winner of the metrics world strong? He's the world's strongest man. That's the name of the event.
And they don't very rarely, or they don't use the barbell very often when they test for that. So
I don't think they use the barbell almost at all, except in rogue events when they use that fucking elephant bar.
I was gonna say they only typically use it for like a deadlift, and that's like they'll throw some like tires on it or some circus balls on the end of it.
The huge dumbbells on it.
It's not a typical. It's not weights on the end of the bar. They're not just doing that.
I think what they did a couple years ago for it was they had there's some kind of like apparatus that kegs fell into it. You had to deadlift it. They would fall in.
They always changed it up to like to make it. You have to adapt to the situation.
But there's a lot of people out there that would say that the CrossFit Games should test the different modalities of fitness in a way that doesn't look as much like a CrossFit workout, which I don't necessarily agree with that. Mm-hmm. But I could see where they're saying it's like, well, if you want to be held to the same standard of strength as strongman, you should be doing strongman events, right? If you want to be held to the same standard of endurance as endurance athletes, you should be doing endurance athlete events, right? Then we can sit here and compare apples to apples on who is the fittest on earth.
How do you make that a sport though, instead of just like a hodgepodge of events in one thing? It's like, we're going to go do something from everything. How do you make that entertaining? It's like, how do you take one thing from strongman, one thing from track and field, one thing from archery, one thing from rowing, like open water rowing, like not have it just be like a circus.
I think we've talked about this before. I'm sitting here saying, like, I think all right, so if we're going to test, let's just use strength as an example. I think a CrossFit style workout with an endurance element to it doesn't have to be running. It could be wall balls, it could be pull-ups, whatever, but with a heavy barbell, right? So let's say the workout, I'm gonna butcher this, but let's just say the workout is 5 rounds for time of 30 pull-ups and 3 hang snatches at 275 pounds, right? I think that is a valid test for who truly is the strongest person on earth without eliminating and alienating smaller athletes. Because pound for pound strength does matter. If we're going to make this all about 1 rep maxes, well, it's stupid then. Because the guy that looks like Hafthor Bjornsson is going to win everything.
Yeah, but like you can't expect. You're saying it doesn't eliminate smaller athletes, but like Roby can go out and do 30 pull-ups but he's not going to be able to snatch a 200. I can't. Roby's not in
the CrossFit Games.
No, yeah, but
everybody in the CrossFit Games can be able to snatch 275.
I disagree.
What?
Yeah, no. I guarantee you, there's 10 out of 40 athletes every year that can't snatch 275.
But they shouldn't even compete for the title then. If you can't snatch 275 at this point.
Can Josh Bridges snatch 275?
In regionals in 2016, when he hit, forget the workout, but when he hit 265 for 2, he PR'd twice in that workout.
Okay. I'm fairly confident that Hebner doesn't hit 275 regularly. Maybe it might be his PR, but I mean, every year we watch the snatch event when they do it for the heavy rep. Like the winner is like 290.
No, the winner is well into the 300s at this point.
But last time they did it, the winner won, and it was like 300.
All right, say 255 then. It's fine. But I'm saying like that. But the point that I'm making is, I think there's an element of we need to test strength, we need to test endurance in specific ways to garner the respect of, or to give like a level of relatability to anybody watching. But I believe a CrossFit style workout is a true measurement of who is the best at this. So like, because we're not trying to find the strongest athlete on earth. We're not trying to find the best 10K run athlete on earth. We're trying to find a person that's good at everything and doesn't suck at anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Get what you're saying.
So I actually had this written down as a podcast for us, but I have it written down as do 1 rep maxes belong in the CrossFit Games. And the more I talk about it, the more I don't think they belong there.
Coming soon on Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Wherever podcasts are available.
Yeah.
Subscribe, comment, like, all that stuff.
I mean, I disagree with you, but we'll save it for another time.
2020, the snatch speed ladder, or snatch speed triple, excuse me. The final ended at 285. So you had at least 5, or was it 3 guys in the final, right?
No, there was 5.
Right?
I think it was everybody, right? So it's 5 guys in the final that all hit 285.
The fact that it was 285, that's pretty impressive.
So
that's pretty great. 285 is a lot for a speed ladder.
Yeah.
That is a lot.
I'm going to go to 20. When's the last time it was 2017 they had the snatch, right?
Yeah, and Fikowski won at 300 pounds.
Oh, you mean the tallest athlete in the field? That's shocker.
Yeah.
Well,
Fikowski won at 300, and the next one was 290, and I think it was Fraser.
Oh, we gonna find out, don't?
I'm going off the top of my head.
Ooh.
Am I right?
You are not right.
Oh, okay.
But you're right that it was over 300 pounds. Garrett Fisher, first, 305. Tommy Venus.
I remember that.
In 2017?
Yes.
Tommy Venus, too. Creepy. Listen to this. Listen to how many points Garrett Fisher had that year. 666. That's creepy.
Nice.
Tommy Venus at 302.
Yeah.
And Fikowski at 300 even.
You do that event this year in 2021, minimum 10 athletes hit 300 plus. Minimum. If not 15. Well, anyway, so this is actually a perfect transition for my final question for the 2010 CrossFit Games. And if you might remember, that's what we were talking about today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot we're still doing that.
Was the winner of the 2010 Progenics CrossFit Games the fittest individual on earth?
All right, let's just get it out of the way that for the women, yes. Like, let's just.
I said it at the beginning.
Like
said it an hour and a half ago. Or
that doesn't. We don't need to talk about that. But yes.
Yes.
She was.
Kristen Clever had one bad event. Tia Claire Toomey has bad events.
Yeah.
It's fine. She didn't finish outside of second. Like, come on. She's the fittest woman on the planet in 2010.
Probably.
I have.
Do you have a different opinion?
Just keep talking.
So I have a little paragraph. Holmberg was able to climb the ropes. Froning wasn't. It's hard to look back at what he's done career-wise and say, yeah, Graham Holmberg was fitter. But at that time, Froning couldn't climb the ropes. So my official opinion is he was the fittest person on the planet that year.
That Froning was.
No, Graham Holmberg was.
No.
But it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to look back.
If someone takes 5 minutes to teach Rich how to climb a rope, he wins those games.
But that's the thing. It's hard to look back at what Rich Froning has done since 2010 and not say that he wasn't fitter than Graham Holberg that year. But we're not talking about what he did in 2011, 2012, 13, 14, whatever. 2010, he couldn't climb a rope.
I actually
For
agree
technical
with,
purposes.
I actually
And
agree
now-
with Roby and think Graham Holberg was
We
the
can't
fittest.
take look. All we're talking about this week is 2010. 2011, yes. Rich 13, 12, 13, 14, yes.
Maybe we'll talk about it later.
But 2010, Graham Holberg is the fittest man on the planet.
I actually think the
agree with
exact
Roby.
argument you're making, Roby, is the exact argument against your point. In that if someone takes 5 minutes to teach Rich, hey man, this is how you use your feet, he wins those games. And
No one did.
the point is exemplified by the fact that Rich Froning did 2 20-foot legless rope climbs.
Okay.
See, so if you break it down, Froning finished better than Graham in the first workout. Graham finished better than him in event 2, event 5, and then the final 2 workouts in event 6. So Rich Froning, at that point in the final workout, even if he knew how to climb a rope, like he knew how to do toes to bar, he still was slow on them. He knew how to do shoulder to overheads, and he was still slow on them. There was no evidence that he was going to be able to get up that rope, whether he knew how to or not. Like he was gassed. He was done.
Yeah. I'm looking at it. Okay, so it actually was tighter than I thought it was. But if you just break it down mathematically, right? So as I'm looking at it right now, Rich lost to Graham by 3 points.
Yeah.
Literally, if Rich, like 3 points, if he places 3 places higher than where he finished in final 3, which is 12th place, he takes it. But that's actually, we're sitting here splitting hairs on it. That wasn't even the point I was going to take on this workout, honestly, because I do not believe that the winner of the CrossFit Games this year was the fittest person on earth due to the validity of the test.
Due to the validity of the test. All right. How so?
I just don't believe at this point in time the sport had evolved far enough and cast a wide enough net with a valid enough test to find the fittest person on earth.
So
I believe that there was still a person out there that was just a unicorn that was in great shape that wasn't into CrossFit or didn't know about the games or whatever that was out there that probably could have won these games. I think there was a person on earth at this point in time that was fitter than Graham Holberg that could have won these games.
But isn't Miko Salo the unicorn? And
He
he just didn't know how to do all the stuff. Like there's too many. This game's had too many skilled events to be able to just say like that guy. Yeah, he's fit, but you can't come in here and do muscle ups, snatches, overhead squats, rope climbs, toes to bar.
People kept saying that about Miko Salo. But Miko Salo won the games the year before this. So, Miko, do the shit you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. But like he didn't look like he was in the upper class of athletes. Like he was in the last heat, but I never once thought that he's more fit than Froning, Spieler, Holmberg,
Matt Chan.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can make a case that he was the 4th fittest person there. You can make the case.
did Miko take 4th that year?
Fifth.
No, Chan took 4th.
Yeah, Chan took 4th. Miko took 5th.
Yeah, and Chan's amazing. He's an incredible athlete. My point being is, at this point, if you took Adrian Peterson and put him in the CrossFit Games and just spent an hour teaching him how to do muscle ups and teaching him how to do rope climbs, how does he do?
I don't think you win. I think the volume catches up to him.
No, yeah, I mean, like, let's take him aside for 2 weeks, throw him through a CrossFit boot camp. He's still not going to be able to do 3 rounds for 21 overhead squats, or he's not going to be able to do Amanda. He might be able to do the first round of Amanda, but he's not going to be able to finish Amanda.
the first year of the CrossFit Open in 2011, I'm gonna mess this up. I'll Google this when someone else is talking. There was something like 45,000 total participants. Dude, that's nothing. 45,000 participants is nothing. I think at this point in time in 2010, when the net was cast even more narrow, I just don't know if the fittest person on earth was actually here. Was the test valid enough to find out that the person that was in this test was the fittest person in Carson, California? Yeah. I'm just not convinced that there wasn't somebody out there that wasn't fit enough to prove that they were the fittest person on earth at this point.
But I think you could make that argument for every games then.
No way. Matt Fraser's the fittest person on the planet Earth.
But how do you know? There could be some guy out there that's
no.
way fitter.
No, that argument doesn't happen now. That's not possible.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like you can't just say it's just invalid because it was a small sport at the time.
No, you can make that argument now because people weren't good at these. Like these people that finish in the top 10 don't finish in the top 40 now. Froning doesn't finish.
True.
2010 Froning doesn't finish in the top 40 in 2019.
True.
No, but he doesn't finish in the top 3,000.
Yeah. So it's just like you can't make that. Like this is a profession now.
2010 though.
This is
These are the guys that showed up.
Yeah, but your argument is that you can make the argument now. There's just
that's the exact point that I'm making though. Is everyone in 2010 was an amateur.
Yeah.
Everyone in 2010 was an amateur. They all had full-time jobs. They went to the gym when they had time. Shit, man, half the field had like kids and shit, right? My point being is, at this time, there were other amateurs like them that were also training their ass off and could potentially be fitter than those people. There were people working for CrossFit at the time that were substantially fitter than a lot of people competing in the games. Russell Berg was on the judge he was on the staff for CrossFit. Nicole Carroll, who was much younger at the time, was on the staff at CrossFit. She's a warrior. Annie Sakamoto did amazing at the games 1 year later, and she was, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. There's a lot of people that were just sort of aged out. That were Greg Amundsen, man. Mm-hmm. There were incredibly fit CrossFit athletes that weren't even there.
All right, we'll have to agree to disagree. I just think you just can't invalidate Holmberg just because it's like, well, there might have been fitter people.
I also think Holmberg's finishes are more impressive. If you just look at them by a number perspective, they're more impressive than Rich's.
I will give you this. I will give you this. Going back and looking at their event by event finish, I thought it was going to be a much more like, oh yeah, Rich was clearly more fit, and I don't actually think that's necessarily the case.
Yeah, I mean, you got
No, I went
Holmberg
into this
was pretty balanced.
Yeah, I went into this rewatch thinking I was going to be like, oh, Rich was the guy. He just messed up a couple of times. Mm-hmm. But I mean, Holmberg definitely held his own. Yeah, when it came to the competition.
Yeah, history doesn't remember Graham Holmberg in 2010 the way they probably should. I think he deserves a little bit more respect on his name for this.
This is impressive. I mean, you have an 11th, a first, third, 16th, first, 6th, 2nd, 5th. In today's standards, you're up there. In today's
standards, that still doesn't beat Fraser. Yeah, that still doesn't beat Fraser.
Well, I mean, maybe. And we'll save this for the 2019 Run It Back podcast. Yeah. 2019 Fraser was not as impressive as you would think until the last 3 events. But we'll save that for the 2019 Run It Back podcast.
Hot takes everywhere on that podcast.
That's going to be a good one. I was thinking about doing that one next.
Yeah. So.
No.
All right. Well, anyway, boys, I think we're running up on our time here. I think we can write. You guys have anything else you want to say on this one?
No, I just my final take on the entire games was I just wish that they would take it off of YouTube. It doesn't need to be seen by the general public. Doesn't need to be seen by anybody wanting to do CrossFit and thinking like, oh, let's just kind of go back and see how this has transpired over the years. This doesn't need to be seen by the general public.
Yeah, but I like to equate it to like our podcast though. like maybe the first couple episodes, we just leave them up just so people can see how far we've come.
Yeah, but I'm not going to throw my back out on our first couple of podcasts.
That's true. That's fair.
No, like to your like behind the scenes should be up on YouTube. Maybe the events, maybe you could be right on that.
Let's leave the final up. Let's leave the final up. Let's think the rest
so
of the
funny
event.
when you listen to them on behind the scenes, like they're talking about like Amanda, and everyone talking going to Amanda's like, guys, listen, it's a full sprint. It's all out. The first person to put the bar down loses. We're all going unbroken on the muscle ups. And then you watch and you're like, nope, not even remotely close. Anything you got to say, Roby?
Nah, man, I'm glad we started with 2010. I think because like we said earlier, we're just going to get to expand. We're going to see how better the sport has gotten, how worse it's gotten in certain aspects. Offline, I'm happy Tom Brady won the Super Bowl last night.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Other than that, looking forward to the 2019. We should do 2019 next because I got some thoughts.
We'll see.
Yeah, that was.
Or we could just do 2020 and just totally just rip it. Like just lose all of our followers.
We're not doing 2020 for another 10 years. We'll do that on the 10-year anniversary episode. But yeah, man, this is a lot of fun. You know, we had a lot of fun with it, but it's like, dude, you're talking about the cradle of CrossFit civilization, right? Like this is what everything was built on top of. So
there's literally nothing. It can't go anywhere from up but here.
Right. I really enjoyed the opportunity to sit back and like, you know, just I always look back on stuff with nostalgia, and it's really great seeing how far the sport has come. Yeah, it was fun. All right, well, anyway, guys, thanks for joining us. Special thanks to Dunk. Special thanks to Roby. Appreciate you guys spending the time to jump on the pod with us. Guys, give us a like, give us a follow, give us a share. Don't forget about this week's Jerk Werk. Thanks for tuning in. We got some fun stuff coming up for you guys on the horizon. Some really cool pods are coming your way. Later.